Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Vasila Built for Speed here, and today we got another service video. I got a 2019 Subaru Ascent behind me. It has the 2.4 turbocharged engine, the new design, and today I'm going to be changing the CVT fluid, well, just drain and fill, which is going to be around 4 quarts. I'm going to show you guys how to drain it, how to check the level, and which fluid I'm going to use and all that, which you probably already know. AMSOIL, I'll put everything. They're our sponsor, and yeah, we're loving the fluid. If you guys been following my channel, we've been putting AMSOIL fluid in my truck. The functionality of it, how smooth it got, it just changed the whole truck. So I decided to change it to AMSOIL fluid in all my vehicles, and we recently acquired this vehicle, and we're gonna do just exactly that. It has 30,000 miles. From people that have CVT transmissions, you know they're prone to issues, and if you want to avoid those issues, I suggest you change your CVT fluid, drain and fill, at least every 30,000 miles. I'm gonna change the drain filter, what do they call it? They don't call it the transmission filter, they call the drain filter, pretty much the one that's on in the bottom pan of the transmission. So you remove the pan and it's right there. So we got that from Subaru. I'm gonna change that up because especially when the car is new, you break it in, that's when the most wear happens. So today we're gonna drain that also and change the fluid. Should be around 4 quarts, but I will drain. I have a measuring bucket that I usually like to drain in just to see how much fluid we drained. And then we're gonna put that same amount in and then heat it up to temperature and then adjust the fluid accordingly. So this is the fluid we're gonna use, CVT transmission fluid from AMSOIL. This is the best one they got. It meets or exceeds any original specifications. My opinion, personal opinion, seen from all the signature AMSOIL fluids, it far exceeds any OEM specifications. The OEM fluid will fail way before any AMSOIL fluid. You can ask any master technician right now or any people that work with AMSOIL, they'll tell you AMSOIL fluid is, yeah, it's pricey, but it's worth it. It's the quality of the fluid is very high quality. It outlasts any fluid out there on the market. And like I said, I changed it in some of my other vehicles, and it changed completely how the truck and my vehicles drove, how nice it felt, and like I said, it will outlast any OEM fluid. So you're better off, if you're gonna exceed any service recommendation, you're far better off with AMSOIL in there than with any original fluid. The original fluid will fail way before any AMSOIL fluid will. So that's the fluid I got. That's the fluid I used in my other Subaru Outback. We've been loving it. We've been driving it for quite a few months now. If you guys remember from my video previously I posted, I put the same fluid in my Outback, and that's the fluid we're gonna put in here also. So I'm gonna put it on charge. I'll put the car on charger because my wife decided to leave the tailgate open and drain the battery, so don't pay attention to that. But that's the fluid. And also, if you guys notice, there's no dipstick here, so the level and fill plug is on the bottom, so you got to access that from underneath the vehicle. So right now I'm going to take this fluid down, and then I'm going to kind of close the hood a little bit, just put it on top of the charger because my ceiling is not that high. The hood is going to hit the light. So anyways, I'm going to put it on the lift. You don't need the lift, you can just put it on jack stands or anything level. So you need the vehicle level. I have a lift, you know, so it makes it a lot easier. But you know, when I started, I never had a lift, so I just put it on 4 jack stands, jack up each corner, make sure it's kind of level as you can get it, and then you can start work. And then on the back of the containers, you'll read, I mean, it says Mercedes, Mini, Nissan, Renault, Toyota, Suzuki, Subaru, you know, all these. So pretty much you can use it in pretty much any CVT transmission out there. So it meets, or like I said before, it meets or exceeds, in my opinion, it far exceeds any original fluid that's in any vehicles. I don't think any dealership will put the best of the best fluid that costs them the most money. They're gonna put whatever is reasonably priced for them. So they don't really care about you. They make money of you taking the vehicle to the dealership to get it fixed. So that's why I tell people I use the best of the best fluid. Never cheap out on your fluid and you will never regret it. You take care of the car will take care of you. Okay. Oh wow, how did that get in there? The stuff you find when you work on your vehicle. Pay attention. Anyways, let me first show you guys jack points. There's cutouts you will see in your pinch welds on each one towards the back of the car here. Let me see, maybe I can get a better angle right there. You see the cutouts? You will see cutouts here on your pinch welds of your body where to jack up your vehicle. And then let's walk in from the front. So this is the front of the vehicle. You walk in. Right here is our transmission drain plug. That's pretty obvious, I think. And then up here where your exhaust routes, you can see that right there. That's your fill and level plug. So we're gonna pull that plug first, make sure we can fill it before we start draining it. And then after we pull that one, we're successful pulling that one, we're gonna pull the drain plug and then drain all the fluid out and then take off the pan to change the filter on the bottom. That's right here in the transmission. So let's get going. And then I got this bucket here that measures how many liters. I think gallons. I don't think I have quarts, sadly, but liters and quarts are pretty close. So I'm just gonna measure in liters. I'm gonna drain the fluid in here and see how much we drain, and then put the same amount in, and then heat it up to temperature, and then check, pull, make sure the fluid comes out of that plug. Once it starts coming out of that plug, we know we're level. If it's a little bit over, it will drain out. Just wait until it trickles and then we're good. So, but first, let's get it drained. Okay. Now, as you can see, I got this one loose. This is what size? 10mm hex socket. So we got this one loose, and then the next one, I think this is a 14 14mm 6-point socket. We're gonna get that loose and start draining it. And I got a bucket situated right here. If you don't have something like this, any kind of stand, you may need to hold it, or if you're on jack stands, yeah, you may need to drain in something smaller if you don't have enough room for a bucket. Okay, I drained the fluid and it's pretty much just trickling now. So pretty much got what I needed in the bucket. And as you guys can see, it's almost 5 liters. So that's 5 quarts. Full 5 quarts. That's exactly how I got it. Usually people say, or what I did from my research, it's about 4 quarts. I usually get an extra one, and I'm glad I did. So about 5 quarts. And for those doubters, I only have 29,000 miles on this car. Look at the fluid. It should be clear. Look at it. Look how dark that is. Like, and this is pretty much see-through bucket. This is not a solid white bucket. This is see-through bucket. Look how dark that is. Like, you can't even, on the light, on the sun, look at it. You can't see through it. Like, that's how bad it is. That's why I tell people, if you want your CVT transmissions to last, and you don't want to depend on a dealer, because earlier or later a lot of us want to keep the vehicles. Earlier or later the warranty is going to run out on your vehicle. Well, obviously you need to service the vehicle to keep the warranty active. If they see that you haven't been servicing the vehicle like you're supposed to, they're not even going to cover it. But CVT transmissions are prone to issues no matter the manufacturer. Subaru is one of the better ones, but it's really important to service it in time and actually to use really good fluid. Trust me, the extra couple dollars you spend per quart, it will be worth it, because you're gonna know you have a high quality fluid, and you have a lot higher chance of the transmission lasting longer with a better fluid in it, and also servicing it. So my suggestion to everybody who has a CVT transmission, definitely service it every 30,000 miles if you can, especially with the turbo engine. I would highly recommend it. So as you can see, it's really dirty, and I'm gonna pull the pan right now. It's pretty much done draining. It's just barely draining. So I'm gonna pull the pan, and then I got a filter here. Let me see here. I'll show you guys the part number for this is the part number. Oh, they call it strainer filter assembly. Strainer filter, that's the number right there for the Subaru Ascent 2.4 turbo. I think they're all the same. They're identical from 2018 or 19 when they released them up to today. They're the same thing. So you can call your dealer and verify with your VIN number to make sure the part number is the same. I'll show you guys in a second how it looks. But now I'm gonna get to taking off the pan, and I'll show you guys how the pan looks and how a filter inside looks. So this is how the Subaru Ascent filter looks. It's a lot smaller than the Outback filter. It's not the same. It just has 2 bolts instead of 3 like the Outback does. So it's a very small filter. It's like a long, small filter. So that's how that looks. And yeah, now we're gonna go and take the oil pan off. It's very easy to take this oil pan off, as you guys can see. It's very easy access on the bolts. I got a white towel. Let's wipe the magnet and see. Oh boy. You see those shavings? Look at that. Let me do it again. Look at those shavings. That's the amount of shavings in 29,000 miles in the CVT transmission. Look at that, that's all gray. That's not oil. Oil is right there, is brown. This is all shavings. So, yes people, if you want to take care of your CVT transmission, change the oil every 30,000 miles. Okay, I got the filter out. If you guys can see why I changed the filter. You see all the debris in there? Let's see if I can see down in here. Now you can't really see much here, but mostly here. Look how much garbage is in there. So it's just the 2 screws to get the filter out. Once you wiggle it out, you will have some oil leak out. So it's just this one and this screw there. Once you get those 2 out, just kind of wiggle it out. Okay, so it's just supposed to look like that. Just 2 screws and it inserts into there. I lubricate the seal before I put it in there too. It just makes it easier. Just pop it in there and then put the 2 screws in there and that's it. Okay, and then for the sealer that I'm going to apply after cleaning the pan and then the vehicle, I cleaned it a little bit with one of these tools. It's not quite sandpaper, but it's one, I forget what they call those. It's a little softer so it doesn't cut as much. And then I just cleaned it up the rest, some with the blade and some with the paper towel. And then after that, to kind of take the lubrication off, kind of to pretty much make sure it's not slippery, just spray some brake cleaner on a paper towel and then degrease it, the pan, and then also the transmission. And then I'm gonna apply a thin layer of Victorine sealer in here. If you guys watch my videos, I always do use this sealer. It's never failed me in transmissions, in anything I do. One of the best sealers I've used. So this is the kind of transfer pump I used. One hose goes into the bottle and then one goes into the transmission. So I just filled this one, just a tiny bit left, and then like 3/4, almost full of this, and it started leaking out. So I closed it, just hand tight for now. I'm gonna go start the vehicle and I'm gonna double check on the temperature, what the temperature has to be to check the level. And once it gets to that temperature, while running in park, once it gets to that temperature, I will pull the fill plug or level plug, it's the same thing, and then see if the fluid drains out. If it starts draining out, we're good. And then when you guys fill these cars, you have to, once you fill the car, before you actually go start it, when you start it, you want to shift through the gears a couple of times and then get it up to temp, which is 95 to 113 Fahrenheit or 35 to 45 Celsius. And then once you get to temp, you open the level plug, and then once it starts dripping out or leaking out, you close it back up and you're good. Okay, so the fluid, the level check is 95 to 113 degrees Fahrenheit, and I think 35 to 45 degrees Celsius. So we're about there. I started the car, I checked the temperature on my scan tool. So now I'm gonna pull the level plug, which is this one, and see if it drains out. If it starts draining out, then we're good. So it started running, you can see right there there's fluid. It started kind of trickling fast, like dripping really fast from the transmission. I just put the plug back in with the car running, and obviously with the temperature where it's supposed to be 95 to 113 Fahrenheit or 35 to 45 Celsius, in that range. Once it starts leaking out, you just close it up and you're good to go. Just make sure it's not pouring out. When it's pouring out, you want to wait until it's like fast dripping or like a really thin draining, like a really thin drip. All right, one thing I will note that I ended up actually putting almost 6.5 quarts. So I guess I drained, well, let me see, about 5 liters, so a little bit over 5 quarts in the bucket, and then I left it drip in my drain right there in that red one there. I let it drain, and then I also when I pulled the what you call it, the transmission pan off, on there's like a deeper side here, like this is right here, you can see this is not as deep, and it goes deeper towards this side, and it does not drain from here when you just do drain. If you don't take this off, the transmission pan, it does not drain from here. So as soon as I took the pan off, about 1/2 quart drained out, and then when I pulled the filter, another 1/2 quart drained out. So yeah, so I'm gonna warn you guys, make sure you guys get 7 quarts. I only got 5 to start with, and I had to go get 2 more. I ended up using almost one and a half more, so 5, 6, almost 6.5 quarts. So make sure you guys get 7 quarts if you're gonna do the filter and pull the pan off. If you will not do the filter and the pan, you may get away with just 5 quarts. You'll be fine with that. So yeah, that's one thing I'll tell you. And then yeah, like I said, you just get it up to temperature from 95 to 113 Fahrenheit, or 35 to 45 Celsius, I believe. And then pull the fill plug where you fill. It's level and fill plug is one same thing here on this car. And then once it starts trickling, like dripping really fast, close it back up and you're good to go. So yeah, we're done with this car now. I'm gonna go for a test drive to see how it feels, because it felt a little weird. Like, I don't know, all CVT transmissions feel a little weird, like the shifting sometimes, and it's just odd transmission. Different CVT transmission shifts differently, but yeah, we'll see. I'll take it for a drive and see if I notice any difference right off the bat. On CVT it's gonna be hard because obviously you can barely even feel the shifts. On this car, surprisingly, actually, I felt them in comparison to like Nissan CVT transmission. But yeah, I'll go take it for a ride, and then before I end this video, I'll let you guys know whether I notice any difference or not using AMSOIL fluid. Okay, so now we're in the car. I just got it off the lift. It's running. Let me try to shift it to gears. Drive, reverse, shifts really nice and smooth, doesn't jerk or anything like that. So now I'm gonna go for a quick drive and see if I notice any difference from before, how it shifted, because we owned this car for a few months and I kind of know how it shifted, you know, and I know what I didn't really like about it. See if that changed. I'll let you guys know. Okay, so mainly what I noticed before when I floored it, let's floor it. Wow, that is beautiful actually. Wow. Okay, so I'll tell you guys what was happening before when I got the car. So it was doing, like, when you would floor, especially when you're like from what I just did from a stop sign, and I just kind of pedaled to the metal, it would kind of like do kind of, you know, in one gear, and it would just like kind of feel like it was trying to go into another gear, and it wouldn't go. Like, it was a weird feeling. Now I don't have that. Like, it's gone. I'm about to take another turn just to see. I'm on another traffic light. I'm gonna stop, or almost stop, and then take a right, and then see if that is still there. So pretty much gonna come almost to a dead stop, and then let's floor it one more time. Nope, it's not there anymore. It just goes first gear, second gear, third gear, perfectly fine now. So yeah, that just confirmed again, like again and again, like when I'm changing in my truck, in my car is changing all my fluids to AMSOIL, I'm telling you guys, it's a night and day difference. It's not just me trying to hype up AMSOIL. Well, it is kinda, but there's a big reason behind it, because it actually is working. Because I put it in my truck completely changed, because it had really hard shifting. I put it in this had a weird shifting, like I said, from a spot, you floor it, it would like woo, like weird feeling in first gear, and then it would shift to second and it would be fine, decent. Second and third gear was decent, but first gear was weird. it's gone now. I tested it twice. I floored the pedal to the metal from pretty much dig 2 times. Perfect now. So I'm really pleased again. This just keeps confirming that I am gonna be using AMSOIL as long as I have any cars. I see no reason to. I mean, I tested over the years. I mean, I've been a mechanic for what, past 10 years or so, about working in shops, dealerships, and we used all kinds of fluids. It's rare, very rare, that when you change a fluid, especially in a new car, like your first service, and then you notice a huge difference. Very rare. It's usually the same, maybe teeny bit, but like now there's no fluid that we use that was original. Mainly when we worked at dealership, we only used original fluid in the transmissions and stuff. Rarely do you see like any difference in shifting. Like in my truck, it was shifting really hard. Like it's a heavy duty transmission, but still. And then I switched to AMSOIL, and all of a sudden it shifts smooth. So the same thing with this one. It was shifting really weird. Like I was like, this is a brand new car, 20,000 miles, and it's shifting like this. This is weird. So that the first thought, I was like, yep, I'm gonna get myself some AMSOIL, change the fluid to AMSOIL, and see if that fixes it. And it did. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it does the same for you guys, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys that have CVT transmissions of cars, Subarus, you guys probably gonna be watching this video and yeah, wondering what fluid is to use the best. I'm telling you guys, go with AMSOIL, you won't regret it. You will have the same, you will see the same results I see. If you don't, come back and comment in the comments below, but I doubt you'll be back. But if you guys do see the same results, also come back and comment. Just say yes, that worked, so other people can see, you know, because one person is saying one thing, you know, and it helps a lot of people when you guys come back to the video and actually comment and confirm what I saw. I try to spread the word. I try to make sure you guys' vehicles run and you guys can save some money by doing this stuff yourself and not sending it to a dealership and they put the same fluid they put from factory and have the same issue. I'd rather have you guys put better fluid in your cars and service it yourself, save some money, or buy the AMSOIL fluid and take it to your local private shop and have them put the AMSOIL fluid in there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and as usual, see you next time.